Welcome back everybody, I am JustDaZack. It is my continued mission to show you an interesting video game almost every single day, and today we are going to have an early look at Claymores of the Lost Kingdom, a game that matches and mixes sandbox RPG games with the roguelike deckbuilding genre. We're going to have a look at a very early demo, so early in fact that at the moment of this recording it's still like 2 weeks up until it has a launch in the Steam Next Fest, and you can definitely tell at places that this is definitely still in development. That said, I did play a little bit. I managed to reach level 5. Also, first things first, options menu. The most important thing, you guys know me. The game could be a little bit brighter in my opinion, or at least give us a brightness slider. Other than that, I found some of the combat animations to be surprisingly fast, so fast in fact that I found it, especially at the beginning, difficult to actually figure out what's going on. But again, early demo, just a little bit nitpicky. Other than that, resolution would be nice. That said, currently I am here in the wilderness, pretty much at the starting location. I had some like 2 escort missions, which brought me back to where I started my mission, and I am a dwarf. In this game you can actually choose different classes, and it has a classless level progression, meaning when you level up you can, put your points into stats however you want to see fit. Strength, constitution, dexterity, wisdom, intelligence, and depending on your stats, you get offered different cards. So you can go with the strength intelligence build, for example. But I went, and of course your background and your race has an influence as well. I think I'm a hunter as a background and a dwarf, and they gave me a little bit of a sturdy deck. This is my deck, this is how we fight people, and I'm very much on like putting up my defense and dealing damage like that, or survivability, so to speak. And this is how we want to deal. This is how we level up right now. As you can tell, it's very much locked here in the demo. I already managed to fill up the strength meter, but this gives us a few extra stats like more HP, starting defense, weight limit, which I don't know what that is right now. There is tradable items we can pick up, and MP, but we're not a magic caster, so there's that. You can also get some equipment. I don't have any yet because equipment is surprisingly expensive, and this is what I meant. You can also trade because it's a sandbox game. For some reason, every sandbox game in existence needs to have trading, and I always find it interesting. I'm always very superficial with that, and I haven't bought anything yet because, well, in this game, rations, food, is also trading, or the trading currency. That said, I keep talking, how about we actually play the game? So I'm in this village right now, exploring Sprucehorn, which I like that there's a little bit of, text here, like Sprucehorn is a secluded fishing community. Although the Ironbeard dwarves have always been wary of people settling too close to the hold, this village was generally accepted for its valuable trade. So first off, things first, this world is dangerous. There's like thugs everywhere, and luckily you can trade in their heads. Because of course, like in every good tabletop RPG genre, when you play D&D, Pathfinder, whatever, if you defeat some thugs, or if you think they are thugs, you're gonna cut off their head and bring them to the local police department, and then you get some money. Like 5 rations. Beautiful. Can we do anything right now? We could rest. At the next day, if we're lucky, there could be a side quest here. Like so far it has only been like, hey, escort me to the other side of the island and I give you some money quest, or we could trade and buy some stuff or sell some stuff. Well, I have nothing. There's this big fat 0 everywhere. We could buy some salt, for example. I mean, it is green, which I think means we can buy it here cheaper. You know what, chat? For 3 rations, let's buy 2 salt. And maybe we can sell it for more money later on. Well, let's go with like 33. 4 salt. We have 33. I would actually love to buy some items, but that's it. We kind of need to run a look around and find something to do right now. Also, apparently, I kind of only noticed that from the Steam description. There's Doom coming on, and I think that's the big fat roguelike approach, so to speak. So you need to get retry and need to get better and understand the world better until the end of Doom to actually win the game. So other than that, in that time frame, you have a lot to explore. That said, let's go. Brian Coast. I've been here before as well. Big game hunt. A group of dwarven hunters are just about to set off into the wilderness. Their target is a mighty beast that lives nearby, and it seems that they're planning to have a feast right after. We could actually join the hand, but only if we were very dexterous, which I'm not. But we can still help because we also are a dwarf, and that is the other choice. Fair enough. +8 rations. Nice. Oh, okay. Nothing else. I kind of expected a little bit of a fight or so, but no, just free money. I'll take it, thank you. Okay, we can go over here. It's currently dangerous and there's some thugs, and apparently, of what I've gathered, you can have an influence during your runs on like different factions and so, like different thug factions, and can make sure there is also, as you can see bottom left, relationships with the different factions and renown overall in the world. So you can kind of influence on which thug gangs and so on might prosper and which might not. Would actually be cool if we could be, you know, banded in the full game as well, but I don't think it's doable right now. So this is the core gameplay. I like the art style. So we're fighting this guy, this old man, as you do. You know, gotta beat up some old mans. And he's gonna, he's definitely a magic caster. He's level 5, has 10 HP, and he has 20 defense. Because in this game, there's a bunch of values. There's magic attack, and every physical attack also has like piercing or blunt, and all of those, depending on the damage type you deal, if it's blunt or piercing, they have some extra effects as well. Same as, I think there's armor and defense, but defense is better than armor actually, because defense also works against magic attacks. So he's gonna buff himself, so whenever he does some magic attacks, he's gonna deal more damage. We also start with a card already in place, so to speak, which is Fueled Grid, which preemptive means, well, it's already in the game right now. We can also read it at the right side. It has the passive effect on Grudge, so whenever we take damage, we gain 1 defense. Which is very nice, because this is kind of how I built our character around. And we start with 1 mana, which means we can actually play, well, at least every card we choose. And we're gonna play the one for 0, deal 2 physical damage and 1 defense. Physical damage before dealing damage. Physical hits can be reduced by enemy defense and or armor. So this has no blunt damage attack type, for example, or piercing. It's just pure physical. Well, let's pound him. There we go. He blocked it because he has 20 or had 20 defense. Now it's down to 18. We also gained 1 defense, but I mean, that was a free card. Now we can spend our 1 mana to either go with this Ironbeard Endurance for 4 turns, defense +2, and I'll destroy this card. Nice. Repelling Jab, we can deal 3 piercing damage and increase our evasion by 1. Evasion enemy has a chance to mess with melee attacks, increases our range accuracy, which is, it's kind of hard to read. It kind of reads like the enemy's ranged accuracy gets increased, no, it's our 5% per stack. And I think the stack also goes down by 1 or by every turn or something. That could be a little bit clearer as well. So we are on board for 3 turns on discard. We can actually discard pretty much at the end of every round a card to gain some mana. You're going to see that in a second. So on discard for the next 3 turns, deal 1 damage, and every time we draw, we gain 1 defense. We could go with that. So he's gonna attack us with a huge magical blast soonish. So I think we could also go with piercing damage. It's gonna bypass the defense, but let's go with this. So ended the turn automatically. He buffed himself. Again, that's what I meant. When you play your last mana, for example, the enemy acts immediately and so fast, like especially at the beginning, it's kind of hard to keep track of what's happening. So he buffed himself, he would deal 2 more magical damage, and now we can choose if we want to discard one of these cards at the end of our turn to gain some mana. And I actually want to do exactly that. Let's go. Do we want to get through evasion? I have a feeling it's gonna be too tough, so let's go with that. Gain some extra mana. We also gain 1 mana per turn, and we have a maximum hand size that we refill up to at the end of, or at the start of our next turn. So we could go with this. We could shoot an arrow, but this only has a 40% chance to deal 12 damage. He's gonna buff himself again. We could deal 5 blunt damage. Blunt damage hits build up trauma and are guaranteed to cause at least 50% of face value, rounded down. Not quite sure what that means actually. We have 2 mana. It's just 5 damage, 1 defense. We have 10 right now. We do gain some extra defense as well. And we're gonna need it when he's gonna magically blast us. So I think I'm gonna risk the 12 damage, because 12 is just amazing. We missed, of course we did. So then I'm gonna play this for 3 turns on discard, deal 1 piercing, and on draw defense. We're definitely gonna draw for the next 3 turns. So it's essentially, and I also wanna discard pretty much every turn. So it's slow, but yeah, it's pretty much 1 mana, deal 3 damage, and gain 3 defense, which I think is decent enough. Let's go. So he's gonna buff himself up only by 1. So magic buff for 3, or maybe 2 as well, but it went down by 1. We're actually gonna discard this. Deals 1 damage. Beautiful. Next turn, he's still going to buff himself up. We have the 0 mana card. 4 charges on block, deal 2 physical. That's nice. This is kind of our background card, if I remember correctly, or maybe because we are a dwarf, because I chose this at the very beginning. That was kind of our character creation card, so let's go with that. Again, we're really stacking up all these defensive buffs. After 2 turns, mana +2 and defense +2. I made cost 0. Beautiful. We have this. Did 2 damage, yeah, and 1 defense, and 3 blunt, 1 defense. There we go. We're slowly whittling him down. He has 4 trauma. 5 stacks of trauma will cause the enemy to be stunned. Ooh, he would deal 7 magical damage to us. We have 15 defense, and that is pretty good. So we could easily take that damage. Also, fun fact, or well, not fun fact, our maximum of defense is always half of our maximum HP, by the way. Let's see. Oh, evasion +1, deal 3 piercing, and then we would have a 45% chance to deal that much damage. Yeah, let's go with that. Evasion +1, 3 piercing, and he's panicked because that is being dealt by piercing. Enemy is panicking whenever the status is caused to refresh, the buffs are reduced. Okay, we reduced the magic buff, so he would only deal 6 damage. Okay, deal 2, 7. 1 more defense, doesn't help, but it's 0 mana, deal 2. Come on, 45! Oh, come on. Never was that unlucky so far with my arrow shots. Okay, we're gonna discard this, still deal 1 damage because of our spear and shield. 2 cards disappeared. This lasts for 1 turn. Oh, that's good. This again, we're 4 mana. Let's go damage, damage. Come on! Oh, 3 times in a row? Are you kidding me? We're so unlucky with this. Oh, he's about to deal 7 damage again. But we're doing fine as... Oh, he's down to 7. So 5 and 3. There we go. Got him. Alright. 89 experience. First combat, easy. Didn't even take some damage, which is good. We gained a hat, which we can trade in for 5 hats. For 5 rations, sorry. And again, I don't really have a quest, so we're just gonna run around to hopefully find... Ooh, what's this hideout? Hidden from plain sight, you chance upon a fortified enclosure. You spot a narrow entrance, but you can tell that it's been trapped. Oh, if we were very dexterous or intelligent, we could either advance very carefully and avoid the traps, or figure out the mechanism and probably turn it off. Well, we are sturdy dwarf, so whatever. 8 damage is fine, down to 21. Sharp pain pierces your senses as the trap triggers. The path ends with a steep wall in front of you. You spot a rope, but someone keeps it up there on purpose. The climb looks fairly straightforward. But more than strength, it will be about endurance to make it to the top with your belongings. I have not enough endurance, really? Climb steadily, 12. What are our stats right now? I thought I was very good, and apparently not. Strength 14, scale it quickly. I don't think we can even get to strength 14 here in the demo. Well, keep trying no matter what, 1 HP. While stumbling through a thick undergrowth, you hear sniffling coming from somewhere ahead of you. There's a couple of big trees around. You stop and listen. And sure enough, the sniffling continues. Then, accompanied by a particularly loud one, a rogue emerges right next to you. Loud one what? Is a particularly loud sniff, maybe? Sound? I guess so. Also, you can tell that this is not written by Americans, because I think Americans kind of hate commuters, so probably very European. I'm not even sure if this is UK, but this is something I am often doing myself. Anyway, let's fight. 20 HP is okay. Let's see what we even fight. I have no idea. Okay, a rogue. That's the one who snuck up to us. Fair enough. Enemies can also have traits. Luckily, we're still at the beginning, so this guy is only very starved. So we could give him... Well, we can't give him some food to survive. He just has 40% less HP. Sorry, buddy. Okay, let's go with that. We have 1 mana exactly. Evasion +1, deal 3 piercing. He's gonna deal 6 damage to us. Again, that's always my personal problem, I feel like. So he's gonna deal 3 damage 2 times. Does it mean he attacks 3 times for 2 damage? Or does it mean he attacks 2 times for 3 damage? Which is actually kind of important because, well, we have this one card that if we block an attack, we deal damage back. We don't have it right now, which is actually a problem. So Spear and Bond. Okay, we still managed to block that. I'm gonna discard this for some damage. Gonna redraw, gain a defense because spear and shield as well. He's gonna deal 2 piercing damage, that's not good. Enemy will inflict piercing damage which ignores both defense and armor. Well, we can't do anything about that. Can't even block it, which is not nice. Might as well... I mean, Iron Blade Endurance is pretty cool. For 4 turns, defense +2. Let's go with Blunt. And let's get the defense for upcoming attacks. I think it's still fine. I'm gonna discard this. He's down to 13. Has a lot of trauma, I think. Oh wait, it's only 1. We still need 4 more. This is actually kind of unclear to me a little bit. Let's get this again. We have 4 mana. Deal 2. Deal 5 Blunt. Oh yeah, the stack is 2. Come on, 40%! Finally! Didn't even need the other attack, but that's fine. Also 89 experience. Beautiful. You keep going, and your stomach growls as a mouth-watering aroma of grilled meat hits you. In a small clearing, you find a campfire tucked in by a mossy boulder. The food is ready, but there's no sign of the owner. Wherever they are, it would be a shame to let it all go to waste. I mean, I feel like it's somewhat reasonable that we just killed the owner of an assumption, but what do I know, right? Quickly pack some and move on. +2 rations. I'd rather take the 10 HP, thank you. You arrive at what appears to be a dead end. However, your experience with bandits tells you that defensive measures are usually for good reason. The passage must be hidden. Okay, well, we're not very intelligent, nor are we very wise, so we're just gotta look around and gotta eat in the meantime. You make your way through shrubs and dense undergrowth, trying to make as little noise as possible. You hear a yelp as you step on something spongy. You jump back as what looked like a pile of moss begins to move. Defend yourself against an elite fight. Alright, let's go. I hope we're ready. I have no idea. Oh, it's just another mage. So much for moss. I thought there was like an earth elemental or something. Shifty. Action intent is hidden. Well, that's not nice. 15 plus 25. Level 10. That's a problem. At least we have decent HP. Well, we can only hope for the best. Let's go. All defense. He buffed himself. Still hidden. Let's throw away... Maybe piercing is the way right now. Doesn't matter. No, the other one gave us +1 defense. Could have actually been good. Okay, deal 2. Defense 1. He might buff himself again. Ooh, this is a combo for 45%. But I think we really want to play it safe. I'm still gonna go for the 40%. If it hits very hard. Okay, discard, still some piercing. Yeah, he keeps buffing himself. Let's go with that. Come on. Okay, that hit. Beautiful. Also some damage. We have 15. I mean, that's the best defense we can get. So, whatever. Let's go. So, he's essentially at 20 HP. That's good. And it doesn't matter if he attacks or not. Or, well, it doesn't matter if he... Whatever he does, we can only... Our defense is as maximum. Welcome here on JustDaZack. I'm very smart and know exactly what I want to say. We have 2 mana. And this is essentially 6 damage, so let's go with that. Okay, he still keeps buffing himself. Fair enough. Down to 7 plus 3 defense, if I see that right. Ooh, full mana. Let's go. Oh, come on. Trust me, guys, before I played this, I was actually very lucky on the coin flip, like 40%. I hit almost every single time. There we go, got him anyway. Well, he didn't really do much. 231 experience, that's amazing. That should be level up, right? Demo level cap reached, no hideout. You search the place carefully and find the trove in a burrow. You pull out bags of rations and eventually a wooden chest as well. Ooh. Okay, that is equipment. You search the area and also find Me 301, which we could probably sell for a lot of money. Equipment. Equipment cards work very similar to the tactic cards by providing passive effects over the course of battle, but they are permanent and are already in play at no cost. Once you pick up a piece, it will be automatically equipped. Fair enough. Arcanist's Coal. Magical resistance +1 on draw, causes 1 arcane residue. Magical resistance, yep, reduces magical damage. Equipment card, why does it not tell us what arcane residue is? No idea. Keep it, yes. Alright, we also still leveled up. That seems to be the cap right now. Can we still get to the screen? Yes. That's how we level up. We can't go past 13, so much for the checks right now. And frankly, I hope that in the full game there's gonna be a few more levels, because so far that seems to be very shortly. But maybe, you know, with so many turns, but that's just a first impression. Intelligence is only 8, interesting. So maybe maximum HP plus 1, oh, it's maximum HP though, not starting HP. Still very good for them. I think that's actually mana. I was wondering about this. Why would I need MP? Probably just to cast spells or something. No, it's probably mana, which we need, well, to pay our cards, right? And also, this is a thing that I'm also always very, you know, careful about in video games, like 5% haggling. In RPGs, you know, when you want to go with a cool charisma build to maybe have some cool special dialogues or dialogue checks, and instead some RPGs just offer you, I don't know, 10% or 7.5 or just 5% better prices in shops where you have enough money anyway. I mean, this is a roguelike. I think you're supposed to not have that much stuff, but the few equipment pieces I saw were like 15 rations. So or like, you know, what we saw with Soul 3. So the numeric values are just at the very, you know, bottom. And then 5% of like 15 it's not much. So I feel like this is pretty much a trap choice. I'm not a fan of that personally. More HP, weight limit, I don't know what that does. Again, the game didn't really explain. Oh, I missed that, fair enough. Maximum HP, and I feel like starting MP right now is actually the best. Let's go. We can't reach it, but we are making progress. This is because we level up, we get offered a card to add to our deck. Depending on our stats, we could also just skip it for some rations money. I haven't found a way to skim our deck yet. That would probably be very important during a full game as well. Crush, 2 mana for 8 blunt. Not that interesting. Deal 3 times 2 piercing. On grudge, meaning when we deal receive damage below 50%, this moves on the block. Interesting, but it costs 2. That's a lot. Sacrifice 3, deals 6 physical. Sacrifice, reduce your own health. Interesting. For 0 mana, I rather skip it. I rather have more of a defense build going on here. Alright, so if we now look in our equipment screen, we do have the coal. Nice. Magical resistance. Magical resistance plus 1 on draw, costs 1 arcane residue. That's interesting. The game so far actually did a pretty good job, in my opinion, highlighting what the different, you know, terms and keywords did. But on arcane residue, it's just like, no, not really. Okay, let's move ahead just a little bit more. Enemy traits, 2-1, that's a lot of traits. Heavy weapon 2, enemies' physical attacks deplete their buffs. Interesting. Armor, enemies' physical damage taken reduced. Physical buffs, enemies' physical damage increased. Well, that's a lot. You're only level 5, well, only 25 HP. There's the arcane residue, luckily. Prevents bleeding from clotting and can be detonated by further arcane-based damage. Well, unfortunately, we don't have that. We're definitely more warrior. Okay, well, still interesting maybe. So you're gonna attack for 7. Well, we still have that, luckily, barely so. Okay, 1 mana. Do we want to go with more defense? Enemies' physical attacks deplete their buffs. Okay, I guess that should be a strength buff here, right? So if he attacks, next, I'm still gonna go with that. Let's go. We block this, luckily. Okay, yeah, physical is down. Let's go get rid of this. We have 2 mana. 0, beautiful, attack. Turn intent defense. Okay, they want to increase the defense by 2, which is totally fine. Spear and shield, I very much like this card. Okay, 27. Discard this for the piercing damage. Okay, 9 defense on ourselves. You're gonna buff yourself, so I'm gonna risk it. Let's go evasion and deal 3 piercing. And let's go 45. Oh, got the coin flip. Nice, that was decent damage. There we go. Discard this down to 9. We have full defense. He just wanna buff himself with the defense as well. Oh, we have the combo, let's go. And 45. Oh, missed again. Ah, so unlucky. Well, we can't discard, still fine. You essentially have 7 HP. So, come on, flip the coin. We did it. Beautiful. Hey, 89 XP. Okay, what do we have here? Question mark. Big Game Hunter. Oh, it's the same as before. Well, it's an early demo, so I suppose. Like, ooh, this is Knut the Peddler. There you are. Continue. The word on the road is that they're after you now. I actually met this guy at the very beginning. Interesting. You have made some powerful enemies, friend. We need people like you if you were to survive this insanity. Oh, okay. Well, cool that we met him again, I guess. Demo only has 8 turns left, so let's go. That's actually kind of cool that we have this caravan. I met these guys before while they were technically fighting, or at least on the same spot as some enemies, and they thanked me and gave me like 1 money or something like this, which was nice. Would actually be cool if we could have actually helped them in the fight, or get a buff or something, like make it feel more like we were actually fighting with the caravan guards against bandits. Hopefully that's a thing in the full game. Also, another thing with the escort quest before, I noticed that I had a little bit of trouble. Now that I pay attention, I can kind of see the pathways here, but I had a little bit of trouble following them, because when you have an escort quest, it gives you essentially like, well, maybe we can show you. There we go. Spruceful Merchant requested that I escort workers to Bungo's Orchard in 1 piece. The reward should be 15 rations. That's pretty nice. Could also buy stuff, turn on the hits. Oh, we have so much money running. So yeah, you have this little arrow, which I think is actually kind of cool, but it's also a little bit treacherous because it just gives you the rough direction. On the other hand, maybe, you know, that's intentional. Big Game Hunt again. Okay, you can tell the demo hasn't that much content, but I did enjoy this, not gonna lie. Last turn of the demo. Oh, the arrow. I think it's just pointing down. Demo turn 0. Well, let's see. Oh, there was a 2-skull enemy. Bulko the Butcher. Would you look at that, our wannabe bounty hunter? I've been looking for you. You see, this uprising is much bigger than you think. We'll find the damned Claymore, and Ruthia shall have a ruler once again. Oh, we're fighting. All right, cool. Towering presence. Enemy successful physical attacks increase defense. Loaded. Carrying that extra rations. Okay, armor 2. Okay, let's see. This is probably the last fight. Let's see if we can win this. Come on, arrow. Ah, we missed. Not good. Okay, discard for the mana. Okay, so much arcane residue. Would be so cool if we, you know, would be able to cast some spells, but I mean, that's just unlucky that we as a warrior gained an arcane item. But magic resistance could be good eventually. Let's go with this. 6 damage. Not much I can do about that right now. There we go. Take the damage, discard. Let's go. 7. Got the combo. Get the evasion, 45%. Beautiful. Block the damage. Get rid of this, down to 20. I do like that you can kind of stack, you know, your tactics, so to speak. That's a cool mechanic that I definitely enjoy. 4 mana. Yeah, let's just play everything. Get the damage in. We can block right now anyway, which is pretty nice. Turn 5, 0. 40%. I mean, it's pretty good. Let's go. Yes. Oh, yeah, he blocked. That's why he didn't take the full damage. Get rid of this. Okay, only 2 that we need to do. And we have this piercing, which definitely hits. Beautiful. 231 XP. We survived the demo. In the full game, we're gonna have 300 plus unique cards, 150 plus card keywords, 30 plus synergizing status effects, 99 world map locations, 11 character backgrounds, 5 playable races, 15 build archetypes ready for unlimited mixing, and hopefully many more events on the map. But yeah, for a very early demo, this definitely gets a double thumbs up. I very much like the idea, the presentation of these, you know, adventuring books, so to speak. I definitely am a big nerd if it comes to that. And, you know, mixing a little bit of, you know, Sandbox RPG with roguelike deck building and the good old, very old school adventure books is a cool idea in my book. And I'm very much looking forward to the full game. Please tell me what you think of the game. Stay awesome, and we see each other in the next video.